In the quiet town of West Pittston, Pennsylvania, a house stood that was once a home, but became a living nightmare. In the late 70s and early 80s, this unassuming abode was the residence of the Smurl family. Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their 4 daughters, lived a life as normal as any other family. Their days were filled with school runs, dinner table conversations, and the occasional family outing. Their house, nestled in the heart of West Pittston, was a sanctuary, a place where they could retreat from the world outside. The Smurls were like any other family, living in any other house, in any other town. Their lives were marked by the usual joys and sorrows, triumphs and trials that every family encounters. But beneath the veneer of normalcy, something was waiting, something that would shatter their ordinary lives and plunge them into a world of fear and uncertainty. And then, the ordinary became extraordinarily terrifying. It began as whispers in the walls, soft scratches in the night. The Smurl family, an ordinary bunch, found their lives taking an extraordinary twist in the late 1970s. The quiet tranquility of their West Pittston, Pennsylvania home was soon replaced with a cacophony of inexplicable sounds. Banging and scratching noises echoed from within the walls and ceilings, as if a hidden entity was trying to claw its way out. The strangeness didn't stop there. Furniture started rearranging itself in a bizarre dance. Chairs shifted, tables moved, and objects levitated, defying the laws of physics. The Smurls watched, their disbelief turning into fear as their homely abode transformed into a stage for the unseen. But the invisible terror was not content with merely disturbing the peace. It sought to make its presence known in a more physical, tangible way. The Smurls reported being pushed, scratched, even slapped by forces they couldn't see. There were no burglars, no intruders, only a chilling presence that seemed to be growing bolder with each passing day. In the midst of this chaos, Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their 4 daughters, found their courage tested. They were a family united, standing together against an unseen adversary. They sought to reclaim their home, the very place that had become a battlefield against an invisible foe. Yet the terror was relentless. It was an unseen force, a specter that seemed to lurk in every corner, making its presence felt in the most unnerving ways. The Smurls could only watch as their once peaceful home became a playground for the paranormal, their lives intertwined with an uninvited guest that refused to leave. The first physical attacks marked a turning point, a clear sign that their invisible tormentor had decided to step out of the shadows and into their lives. It was a chilling realization, a moment of stark fear that would set the stage for the nightmares to come. In the face of unseen terror, the Smurl family stood together, but little did they know, it was just the beginning. Desperate for answers, the Smurls sought help from experts in the unknown. The Smurls turned to none other than Ed and Lorraine Warren, a husband and wife team revered for their expertise in demonology and paranormal investigations. Their reputation for handling high-profile cases of alleged hauntings and demonic possessions was well known, making them the perfect candidates to unravel the mystery of the Smurl home. The Warrens arrived in West Pittston, ready to dive into the vortex of the supernatural that had enveloped the Smurl household. They conducted extensive investigations, documenting their findings meticulously. Their mission was not just to validate the Smurls' claims, but also to provide assistance and hopefully bring an end to the terror. Their investigation unearthed a series of disturbing manifestations. Reports of apparitions became more frequent, with the family witnessing dark, shadowy figures with eerie regularity. Foul odors permeated the house, intensifying the feeling of an unwelcome presence. The chilling sensation of being watched, of an invisible gaze following your every move, became a constant in the Smurl home. But it wasn't just the unseen that tormented the family. The physical assaults escalated, transforming the Smurls' home into a battlefield. Invisible forces pushed and scratched the family members. Slaps echoed in the silence, their source unseen. The Smurls lived in a state of perpetual dread, never knowing when the next attack would come. The Warrens worked tirelessly, trying to alleviate the family's suffering. They conducted religious rituals, attempted exorcisms, and employed every tool in their paranormal arsenal. Yet every effort seemed to fuel the entity rather than weaken it. The unseen terror was relentless, its power seemingly unaffected by any attempt to banish it. This chilling tale of the Smurl family was documented by the Warrens in their book, The Haunted One Family's Nightmare, serving as a harrowing testament to the family's ordeal. Despite their efforts, the entity haunting the Smurl family remained, its presence growing stronger. Prayers were said, exorcisms performed, but the nightmare refused to end. The Smurls, desperate to reclaim their home, sought the help of religious authorities. They believed that the power of faith might banish the unseen terror that lurked within their four walls. Priests arrived, the air heavy with incense and the solemnity of their holy mission. They performed exorcisms, invoking the divine to cleanse the home of its malevolent presence. Yet despite their fervent prayers and sacred rituals, the haunting persisted, relentless and unyielding. Some nights, the eerie silence would be broken by an unseen force rearranging furniture, the sudden, inexplicable movement echoing through the darkness. Other nights, it was the chilling touch of an invisible hand, a spectral slap or scratch that left the family in terror. The Smurls found themselves living in a constant state of fear, their home no longer a sanctuary but a battleground. The psychological toll was immense. Sleep became elusive, their dreams invaded by nightmarish visions. Every creak of the house, every shadow cast in the dim light became a source of dread. The air was thick not just with the stench of decay that seemed to permeate every room, but also with the weight of their shared terror. The emotional strain was unbearable. The once close-knit family found their relationships strained, the stress of the relentless haunting pushing them to their limits. The laughter and warmth that had once filled their home was replaced by a chilling silence, broken only by the sounds of the unseen terror that tormented them. Despite their best efforts, the Smurls were left with no other choice. The house that had once been their dream home had become a prison, its walls echoing with the sounds of their unending nightmare. The decision was made, the moving vans called. They packed their belongings, their memories and their lingering fear, leaving behind the house and its resident terror. In the end, the only escape was to leave the house and its resident terror behind. The Smurl Haunting, a chilling tale that continues to echo in the annals of paranormal history. The haunting left a deep imprint on the Smurl family, their lives forever marked by a fear that seemed as tangible as the air they breathed. The wider community, too, found itself grappling with the inexplicable. Neighbors whispered of the unseen horrors that had unfolded on quiet Chase Street, their skepticism giving way to unease. This haunting also stirred the pot of the ongoing dialogue between skeptics and believers. For some, the Smurls' distressing accounts were nothing more than a carefully crafted hoax, a product of overactive imaginations. Yet others saw in their story a chilling testament to the existence of malevolent entities, proof of the mysteries that dwell in the unseen corners of our world. A tale of fear and the unknown, the Smurl Haunting remains a stark reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the shadows.